Hey guys, what's up? It's Mr. Pimlott. So I figured in today's video we should do a 1080p 60 FPS video test with this Panasonic Lumix FZ1000. So this isn't going to be like your out-the-box test. I've modified the colors and the autofocus in this camera. So if you guys would like me to make a video on the settings on this camera, let me know. I just wanted to make a video on this camera with my settings because I've already made a video with the normal settings, so you guys can compare that and maybe we can see which one's better. Alright, let's start with the stabilization test. So stabilizing on this camera is pretty good. For your guys' info, I'll be using my two hands on this camera throughout the whole entire video. So let's go ahead and move on to the autofocusing test. So most cameras won't even focus on this leaf at all, actually. So this camera focused on it pretty fast. That's pretty interesting. So here's another test. This will test the autofocusing, how fast it is. So rock, we got the dirt. What about really fast? Man, that's interesting. So this does have intelligent autofocus because it's autofocusing as fast as I'm moving. So interesting. Let's zoom in onto this light bulb. Most cameras won't even focus on this thing. Oh, focused on it. That's surprising. So let's zoom in on this light up here on this house. Hopefully it doesn't go out of focus on this one. Most cameras won't even focus on this light up here, so. Oh wow, it's staying in focus. That's interesting, actually. That's very interesting. This camera is doing pretty good. Alright, so now we're gonna test the stabilization. I know we tested this at the beginning of the video, but I want to test it a little bit more. So let's see what it looks like. If you guys like the stabilization, let me know. Alright, testing the stabilization. So we're going over some ruts right now. We're gonna get onto the grass and see if the stabilization looks even worse. Okay, we're on the grass now. It might be a little bit worser. Now we're back on asphalt. So here's this building right here. They're starting to rebuild it. Might want to get this on camera before, you know, too long. Alright, so they are rebuilding this building right here, which is pretty cool. Thought I'd show you guys on camera because it may not be here, or most of it may not be looking the same anyways. Alright, so we're going to start with the stabilization test. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on the sidewalk right here. Alright, so hopefully this looks pretty good. I'm going to walk through this sidewalk in between the buildings and the trees. Hopefully the exposures look good. Now let me turn off stabilization. This looks just like my Canon 80D actually when I turn it off, which is cool. So let's turn it back on. And yeah, this should look a lot better. The sun glaring in the lens really doesn't bother the camera. There's a freaking bag hanging from the tree. What the heck? Alright, so I'm holding the camera with one hand right now. I have some weight on this camera too, by the way. I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning of the video, but hopping over this ditch right here. Hopefully stabilization looks pretty good. Most people use the camera with two hands, so using one hand should not really hurt nothing. So now I'm using one hand. I think it really isn't that bad with stabilization. I've seen worse cameras, but hey, usually most people hold it with two hands. Alright, so I'm using one hand now on asphalt. Seems pretty smooth. I don't see really anything wrong to... Got a bird in the sky. That's way out there, so yeah, this camera's doing pretty good. Alright, so we're on an open road right now, so stabilization, it looks good. I can't complain. I mean, it's not wobbling unnecessarily. I mean, it looks good. What about the sun? Zoom into the sun, maybe it'll do something. Yeah, my camera's not gonna zoom into it, it's way too bright, so. Alright, so stabilization's been pretty good so far. What about some zooming tests? We'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so now we're gonna zoom all the way into this Park Place sign right here. So, here we go. Okay, now we're at 400mm. Stabilization seems pretty good. What about the apartments back there? Alright, focused on that. What about the tree? Focused on that. So it's focusing on everything in its path, so that's a good sign. Most cameras won't even do that. It's getting interesting. Alright, so now we're on grass, and it's really tricky because there used to be a building here and there's a bunch of anthills I'm stepping on, so and then you got the sun, and this is the worst condition for a camera, so seems like it's handling it. Alright, so this next test is going to be going into the woods. So this is a very tricky place. Okay, the camera seems like it's adjusting pretty well. So anyways, it's done pretty good. I'll see you guys in the next video. What do you guys think? Peace.